is just winning the rounds. I mean, he's an expert boxer. But we saw when Canelo try to box around. It worked sometimes. If anything, Abel Sanchez took the L like a trooper, like a G. Post-fight press conference, he said, "Why are you gonna bitch about what we didn't do and just give Canelo his credit?" That's what he said. He took his L like a G. And for all the shit that Abel's talking, I mean, he said he doesn't really, agree with the judge's decision, but he respected it and congratulate Canelo. He came to fight, and he couldn't take anything away from him either. Tom Loeffler seems a little sour. Most people will, especially right after the fight, they can hug, they can congratulate people and all this. It's only days later or weeks later where they can, when people can get nasty, they can start talking shit again or whatever. Abel likes to do that, and especially if Triple G and his camp, if they want a third fight, which I think will happen, if they want a third fight, and they're probably going to want it right away, and I don't blame them. If you lose your titles, you're going to want to get back on that horse. You're going to want an immediate rematch, but I don't believe that was in the rematch clause. There was no rematch clause in the contract. Canelo wants to fight in December. He wants to fight in December, but that's all pending the cut that he got above his eye. And also want to congratulate Canelo. Canelo's always been, despite all the controversy and everything, he's still the only fighter in boxing, to my knowledge, that is enrolled in the 365 24/7 clean boxing program. And for all the other boxers or competitors that are in boxing, for everybody else that was talking shit, to my knowledge, no one else is enrolled in that program. People got really quiet really quick. And so, Canelo, he always put up. So if he put up, why don't you put up or shut up, pretty much. If you want to point the finger at someone, well, I think more guys should be in the clean boxing program, 365 24/7. It'll show more integrity for the sport, cleaner fighters across the board. But that's another topic for another day. Canelo is now the top 160-pound champion of the world. He's the top guy. Ain't no doubt about that. That's for sure. By the looks of it, if Canelo fights in December, it looks like it'll be against David Lemieux, who just got his knockout win, first round knockout win against Spike O'Sullivan. I'd say that's a good fight. Is it pay-per-view worthy? Canelo's always going to be pay-per-view. So if they stack up the card again, yeah. I'm always going to want to see Canelo. That's for sure. And yeah, I'm a Canelo fan. I'm a fan of a lot of boxers. So, and that's why we're here, right? That's why I'm talking on this podcast. That's why I have this website. That's why I have the Trilosophy podcast and the website. We're fans. Fans first. And I think Triple G is a bad motherfucker too. Triple G, I mean, that's his first loss. I mean, if Canelo didn't hand him his first loss along the way somewhere, either he was going to retire, like before he got his first L, or someone was going to beat him, you know, I think. I mean, it sucks to get your first L, you know, after, I mean, such a legacy that you just left behind, you know. Well, not left behind, but, you know, after such a you know, prominent career and just like a dominant performance just about every night, every person that you put in front of him. So, you know, congrats to Triple G too. He's definitely still the champion as well, you know, in the eyes of many. Triple G, I mean, Canelo Triple G 3, that'd be great. Just like this fight, you know, Canelo Lemieux, and then is Triple G gonna fight by the end of the year or early next year? That's yet to be, you know, announced. But if I could see part 3 going on, you know, one of the major Mexican holidays, you know, the either Cinco de Mayo or, you know, Mexican Independence Day of next year. I could definitely see that. And it'll be a gigantic event again. One other thing I want to point out about, was it Friday or Saturday? The video gets posted by Floyd Mayweather, and it's him in Tokyo, I believe, at a music festival, and Manny Pacquiao's there. Both of their people are there, and you know, Floyd Mayweather is saying he's gonna come back in December to fight Pacquiao again, and for him not to complain about his shoulder again. And I mean, this came out of left field for me. I wasn't completely shocked, but it's just the timing of Floyd Mayweather posting this. I mean, that's probably another jab to Oscar de la Hoya and the whole promotion behind Canelo Triple G 2. It's just the timing of it, you know. I don't think it got that much attention because people were so focused on this rematch, but it got a decent amount of coverage and news coverage. I think that's, you know, he should have waited. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but you know, him Floyd and Oscar always go back and forth talking shit. I mean, Oscar not too long ago said in his prime he would have beat Floyd Mayweather. So maybe Floyd's like, oh, okay, I'll announce this on the date of your big promotion, you know. And I mean, he did the same thing with the they did the same thing last year with Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. They did it the month before Canelo versus Triple G, and you know, that I think that took a lot of dollars out of that fight. A lot of pay-per-views didn't get bought because, I mean, you know, if that was like $100 pay-per-view and Canelo versus Triple G 2, I mean, the first fight was like $79.99 or, you know, $64.99, whatever the price was. You know, you can't. I mean, that's 2 pay-per-views in 1 month. You know, if it was August 27th and September 16th or whatever day that landed on, it's just that's a lot of money for people. You know, I'm a 9-to-5 working man too. You know, so you know that sucks. So sometimes, you know, I think there's a lot of people that had to choose one. And a lot of people were very curious about a Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. You have a lot of the UFC guys that, that got behind that. It was a huge promotion, a huge event. And, well, we saw how that turned out, So, but as far as Mayweather, Pacquiao 2, if it happens in December, that's cool. Once again, that's going to be a pay-per-view. And Canelo, if he fights David Lemieux in December, that's going to be, 2 competing pay-per-views once again. I think the people that pretty much got burned by these guys the first time around in 2015, I think they still have a bad taste in their mouth. I mean, 3 years has passed? That's it. I mean, it's just, I guess, better late than never, I guess. But, I mean, I'll still watch that fight. I don't know if I'll, myself or a lot of people are going to, pay for it. I mean, I think a lot of people will probably either chip in together, watch it at the theater. What I think they should really do is sell that pay-per-view at a discounted price, and people, more people will buy it, obviously, but I think it's also kind of like giving the customers and the fans, the viewers, a break on pay-per-view money, that they have to spend, especially since the first fight was so shitty, and both guys got to be healthy. I mean, just Pacquiao with that shoulder injury, but he signed that he was healthy, and that made the fight. That was what made the fight shitty. That he pretty much only had one arm. I guess. I mean, it's a believable story. That's fine. So this weekend, September 22nd, looks like we have Anthony Joshua defending his titles against Alexander Povetkin. Povetkin knocked out David Price in his last fight in brutal fashion. I mean, the guy's only lost once. The guy has massive knockout power. He's shorter than Anthony Joshua. I think if he gets clipped, I mean, we saw him go down before. That's for sure. I still have Anthony Joshua winning, but I mean, I think it's still a dangerous fight for him just because of that, that knockout power that Povetkin has. So I do think it is it has somewhat of a level of danger to it, but I still have Anthony Joshua winning. And that's that prediction. So that's going to conclude this episode of the Trilosophy podcast on the go. Try to have a special guest here next week, and we'll get back to our regular podcast. So with that, see you later.